Hi! In my last video, I told that I had to change something, and one of the things that I wanted to change is my video workflow. I've recorded almost of my videos in VoiceOver, and I thought that that was the most efficient way to make videos. However, yes, they are really organized, but I use a lot of time to make them. I also wanted my videos to be more natural to see, and I also wanted to use more cameras. For example, like this one. And right now I'm recording with my almost new Alpha 7S that I used for about 400 euros. And so the main goal of this video is to understand how can I organize videos from two different cameras. I said two, but I also want to extend this exact reasoning for more cameras. But the most important thing that I have to do now is to stop both videos at the same time. And basically, I'm going to make a series of videos where I try to explain and I also try to understand how my workflow will be. In this light condition, I am luminescent, but what I also wanted to tell you is that I have the screen recorder turned on right now. In fact, both of them must be synchronized. And for example, I can see that this command is os.change directory. This is a piece of code that I've already done. And right now I will try to explain to you what is the main problem and my possible solution. And I didn't implement it yet, so in this video I will try to make it work. Okay, this is the future me, and I will show you what this script that I want to do is going to do. So basically, imagine that you have a folder tree like this one, and these ones are the folders that contains the clips. This one contains the clips of my Sony Alpha 7S that is recording right now, and it tells all these clips. These are the clips from the Canon EOS M3 that you can see on the mirror right now. I don't know how to indicate it. This one, right here. And these are the clips that I've recorded for this video in OBS. Now, I know that this clip in particular has been recorded at the same time of this clip in particular. Or for example, this one has been recorded simultaneously with this one and with one of these ones that I don't know, but since I have the timestamps of each video, even if they are shifted of just a few seconds, I can in some way align them. I can show you right now. So I can run this script and in a few seconds, you can see that all of these clips are renamed. So A1, A2, A3. For example, A3 is linked with B3. And C4 is aligned with A4. And for example, A10 is aligned with B10 and C10. And in DaVinci Resolve, I made another script that uses its API and another library called PyAutoGUI, this one in particular. In this exact video, I will not get into the detail of this script, but I can show you that if I place this root folder into the master of DaVinci Resolve and run my script, So after starting up the script, what it's doing is the computer is trying to check if there are some clips that have the same number. For example, A5, B5 and C5 have the same number, and so DaVinci Resolve will create a multicam clip that has the audio and video synchronized of each of these clips. For each folder created, for example, if I try to find the folder 12, I can see that there are 3 clips. The one from the A7S, for some reason, is stretched vertically, but that is not as much of an issue. I can correct it pretty easily. But all of these 3 clips are in the same folder, and their audio and video are aligned. And for the 23, I only had 2 clips, but audio and video are all aligned. Now it's the turn of the past myself. And in this exact scenario, I have 3 camera recording. This one, and the screen recorder. Now, the clips that I've recorded just a few minutes ago are all inside this folder right here. All of my projects, I want them to be in a folder tree made like this. It has the root folder that contains A7S, which is this camera, and M3, that is this camera, and in the future I will not use this camera anymore, because I have this other A7, Sony A7. I bought it for cheap because it had the SD slot broken, but I repaired it. And this is the topic of my next video, which is the second part of this workflow, of this my new workflow style of videos. However, this one has only the case to be put in place. If we go back to the last thing we said, I also have OBS. OBS, it has the clip of before, and now it is also recording this screen that you can see right now. In OBS, I will also record my microscope using my HDMI to USB converter. However, as you can see, in the A7S folder, I have the 4 clips that I've recorded before. In the M3, I have just 2 clips, and in OBS, only 1. In the A7S, I know that this clip and this clip have been recorded with the 2 clips of the M3. So we have to check one thing in particular. If we see the properties of this video, I see that its last modification is at this timestamp. And if I check the properties of this other video that I personally know that are in some way linked, as you can see, there is some kind of problem. I can already see that there are a few issues. Because the M3 last modification has the exact creation date of the A7S. Let me check something. Okay, I think I've solved this problem. Fortunately, I'm going to change the M3, fortunately. And what I can see is that the modification time of the A7S is different from the last modification time of the M3. However, I remember that I pressed the record button to stop both videos at the same time. So it means that the Canon EOS M3 makes the last modification as when I pressed the button. However, I also have another detail, which is that the duration is of 1 minute and 1 second. So if I add 1 minute and 1 second here, I can almost achieve the modification time of the A7S. I'll try to explain my idea to synchronize, at least for renaming purposes, my videos. Let's find a new page, okay? Imagine that in the A7S folder, I have 4 files. I'm going to call them A7S1, A7S2, and so on. I have the N3 folder. It contains M3.1 and M3.2. And I have the OBS folder, which contains one file, which is OBS1. Now, each of these clips have different timestamps. And I'm going to use the last modification timestamp because I've seen in the past that is the information that is not going to vary. For some reason, I don't know why, but Windows works in that way. So this one has been recorded at T1, this one at T2, this one at T3, and this one at T4. These two files, these two clips, have been recorded at T2 and this one at T3. And this one has been recorded at T4. In reality, I don't have perfect devices. What I mean with that? The clock sources of each camera may be shifted of a few seconds. And the more the time passes, the more the month, years passes, the more this shift is becoming evident. At the same time, all these 3 clocks may not be fully synchronized. I mean, for example, the A7S may be shifted of 1 second, this one of maybe shifted back of 1 second, and this one may be the actual reference. But what I know is that they are not perfectly synchronized. The other aspect that I have to take in account is that I may not be able to press the stop record button at the same time. I will make a video where I will make a device that will somehow press the stop and the record button almost at the same time, but even with that device, I will never be completely sure that the timestamps are completely synchronized. I don't have perfect devices, and my devices doesn't even have the ability to be fully synchronized with a real time code, with a thermally regulated crystal oscillator and that strange stuff that I don't even know about. So, since I don't know the exact shift between the actual reference, I can say that T1 is almost T1, and I can put it like this. So all the T1, T2, T3, T4 that have a line on top, they refer to the A7S. And I know that they are in the range of the real T1. The same is for T2 and T3 for M3, and I will decode them with this symbol. And then there is the OBS that I will decode with this symbol right here. My idea to solve the problem of aligning, for example, T1 to T2 goes like this. I can get all the times per each camera. So I have T1, T2. Then I will make a list that contains all of these data. I don't know if this operation can be called merge, but I call it merge. So these are the videos of the A7S, these ones of the M3, and this one of OBS. Then I will sort them. And at the end, I may have a list that maybe is something like this. Then I will make a simple algorithm that will check if the adjacent value is similar to mine. And if it is similar, it will delete it. So I can get something like this. This one have another one similar? No. So nothing happens. This one have the adjacent one similar. They are both T2, but they are similar. So yes, delete the adjacent one. I don't have this one anymore because it is deleted. I have T3. Does T3 have the adjacent one similar? Yes, so delete this one. So I have T4. Does T4 have a similar adjacent? Yes, so delete this one. And this is my last array of timestamps. I can simply make them as my real reference, which is T1, T2, T3, and T4. So in this case, I know that there are 4 different timestamps. Right now, I want to decode each A7S video as A. So A means A7S, B means M3, and C means OBS. The core of the final algorithm is to check per each timestamp if it is similar to an item of the first clip. So for example, T1, does the A7S clip list contain something similar to T1? Yes, it contains that, so I can call it A1, and then it will stop for A7S. Does M3 contains a T1? No. Does OBS contain something similar to T1? No. Let's check T2. Does A7S contain something similar to T2? Yes. So I will make A2. And I will stop for A7S. Does the M3 clip list contain something similar to T3? Absolutely yes. And so, does it contain something similar to T2? Yes. And so I will make B1. And so on for also T3 and T4. And I can get something similar to, this was B2, this is B3, and this is C4. So now I have these three lists. And this list right here is this exact one, but with the names of these clips changed. So I know that A1 doesn't have any other link. A2, however, is linked with B2. A3 is linked with B3, and A4 is linked with C4. And this is something that I will do in my editing software. I've just done a little bit of code. It doesn't do exactly what I wanted to do. This was just for testing. I wanted to understand a bit better how to manage these functions. And so importing these 3 libraries, and this library in the future, if I'm going to use the A7, is going to be almost useless, just because this one is needed for this other camera, and I will explain it in just a few seconds. The script will be run from this directory, os-test.py. And how can I run it? I can open the terminal, which in this case I'm going to use the git terminal, but I could also use the command prompt of Windows, and then I can use this command, python os-test.py. os-test.py is the name of my file. What it's going to do is go in the previous folder, which is this one, and then list each directory and put them in this directory list. Then it will create this other clip list, which in this case the A7 clip list is this one right here, and the A7S clip list time is this one right here. And in the for loop, it checks if it is the correct directory. Per each directory in that directory list, it checks if the directory is the A7S one. It will print the A7S clip list. So to do that, it is going to enter into the A7S folder and then write into the A7S clip list, which is this one, the name of each clip that exists in that folder. And then it is going to print that list. Then, per each clip in the A7 clip list, it will add the timestamps. And to do that, I'm going to append to the A7 clip list time, using this function right here, the timestamp of each clip, which are these ones. And it does that for each camera. In this case, I have the A7S, the M3, and OBS. In the future, I will delete M3 and put the A7. However, the M3 one, as already stated before, has a little problem because its last modification time is not the real last modification time, but it is the time where the actual camera started the recording and not ended the recording. The solution is quite simple because I found a library. Okay, I'm commenting this other line. And the difference between the, for example, the A7S and the M3 is that I have this plus. So what it does is checks the duration in seconds of that exact clip, and it adds it to the timestamp that I already have. I've seen that it kind of works. If I run the script, it is a bit of a mess. In fact, the actual order is not the correct one because I've already uploaded the videos that I've done yesterday. But I can tell you that this video right here, whose timestamp in seconds is this one, is linked with this one. And as you can see, they are different. Okay, that's because I didn't save the script. And I know that this clip, whose timestamp is this one, is linked with this clip, whose timestamp is this one. And as you can see, there is an offset between these two clips of only 2 seconds. And I know that if you are a timecode user, 2 seconds are too much. But in this case, with all the entire workflow that I'm studying, 2 seconds are a pretty reasonable amount of time. Okay, that was a lot. However, in this video, I will not get into the detail of this entire script. I will do it in another video. Yes, I know that may not be the perfect choice, but I didn't know that. But this video is quite long. I spent a lot of hours trying to understand how to make it for real. But I want you to know that this entire video has been edited, organizing the videos and synchronizing audios and videos of each device using the technique that I've tried to show you, at least I think at the beginning of the video. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.